The louder your potential becomes, the more the world tries to lean in and listen. That's the line your enemies pray you never hear, my dear chosen ones, because the moment you understand it, you stop shrinking to make them comfortable. You stop apologizing for being powerful. You stop pretending you're ordinary just because it makes others feel safe. The truth is simple. When the world starts adjusting its focus around you, it isn't because you're weak. It's because you've become impossible to ignore. And nothing terrifies your enemies more than a chosen one who finally realizes their own scale. This whole situation you're feeling, the pressure, the eyes, the atmosphere tightening around your rise, isn't happening by accident. It's happening because you're stepping into territory most people aren't built to enter. The world recalibrates itself around certain people, and you, chosen one, are one of them. You've reached the idiomatic point of no return, that moment where the path behind you is too small for who you're becoming, and the path ahead is too large to walk quietly. Think of it like walking through a crowded room holding a briefcase stuffed with rare jewels you didn't even know belonged to you. On the outside, you look like everyone else, but inside, you're carrying something that would make anyone's pulse spike. You don't have to brag, you don't have to announce, you don't have to wave anything around. The value speaks for itself, and the moment that hidden value starts glowing, the room notices. Senses shift, attention sharpens, conversations pause, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because you're carrying something right. And maybe you've asked yourself, why does the air around me feel different? Why do I sense eyes even when no one is standing there? Why does every step feel like it's being measured? My dear chosen ones, that's not fear, that's recognition. That's what happens when life detects someone who's about to cross into a higher tier of existence. Your rise didn't whisper, it rumbled. Even when you moved silently, your energy didn't. You've been aligning with something bigger, heavier, more transformative, and the world picked up on the shift long before you had words for it. Everything, your habits, your intuition, your choices, has been repositioning itself because your inheritance, the upgrade forming around you, demands a new version of you. Not a louder version, not a more obedient version, but a sharper one. You might look back and wonder why things fell apart right before they started falling into place. Why people pulled away, why routines crumbled, why certain doors slammed shut with no warning. But chosen one, that wasn't life falling apart, that was life clearing a runway. Power needs space, expansion needs silence, inheritance needs stability. You don't build a skyscraper on shaky ground, and you don't hand a rising force anything meaningful until their environment is clean enough to hold it. And let's hit the enemy hard for a moment. The people who underestimated you thought pressure would break you. They thought loss would weaken you. They thought isolation would shrink you. Instead, every blow sharpened you. Every obstacle trained you. Every quiet night rebuilt you. While others collapsed at the first sign of heat, you walked through fire and came out carrying the blueprint for a new identity. Not because you wanted to prove anything, but because you refused to fold. My dear chosen ones, before we move forward, I need you to do something simple but powerful. If this message is hitting your spirit, if you feel that pull in your chest telling you this is meant for you, support this mission by pressing like and subscribing. Your engagement isn't just a click, it fuels the energy that keeps messages like this alive. It allows us to keep creating the kind of inspiring, life-shifting and electrifying content that speaks directly to your rise. Stand with us, chosen ones. Lift the signal so more souls can rise with you. You've become noticeable in ways you don't even realize yet. Your name is already circulating in rooms you haven't stepped into. Opportunities are assembling themselves behind closed doors. Pathways are clearing that weren't even visible months ago. And the world, yes, the entire world, is adjusting itself around your ascent Because chosen ones don't rise quietly. Their energy sends shockwaves into places their body hasn't entered yet. So if you've felt watched, measured, or evaluated, don't mistake it for danger. See it for what it truly is: confirmation. Proof that your life is entering a level most people never touch. Proof that your inheritance, your transformation, your upgrade, your shift is already in motion. And chosen one, once this kind of rise begins, nothing can mute it. My dear chosen ones, before we step deeper into this revelation, take a moment to anchor yourself into this mission. If this message is striking something real inside you, if you can feel the truth of your rise and the weight of the inheritance forming around you, show your support by hitting like, subscribing, and dropping 77 in the comments so I know you're aligned. Your engagement is what keeps this level of energy, clarity, and transformation coming your way. And if you feel called, hit that super thanks to fuel the movement. Now, let's move forward step by step, because if you truly are a chosen one, what comes next will feel like someone finally put words to everything you've been experiencing. Number 1. The moment you outgrow control, the world starts tracking your footsteps. When the spotlight finds you before you find yourself. The moment they stop trying to break you and start trying to study you, you've already won. My dear chosen ones, let that sentence hit the enemy where it hurts. Because nothing rattles those who underestimated you more than realizing you slipped out of the box they built for you and rose into a rank they can't measure anymore. You've become the kind of presence that shifts the air when you walk into a room, the kind of force that bends the environment before you say a word. And trust me, that shakes the ones who expected you to stay small. They never feared your past, they fear your potential. Think of it like this. In a world full of noise, very few people produce a frequency strong enough to make the room turn. And you, chosen one, just stepped into a frequency spike that made every sensor around you recalibrate. That's why the attention feels different. That's why the atmosphere gets heavy. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because you're doing the one thing they never prepared for. You're rising without permission. You may be asking yourself, why does it feel like eyes are on me? Why does the world feel more reactive to my presence? And the answer is sharper than you think. The spotlight finds those who outgrow the shadows. You crossed an invisible threshold, chosen one. You went from blending into the background to becoming the anomaly in the system, the exception, the unpredictable variable that breaks every old pattern. People don't watch the ordinary. They watch the extraordinary. They don't lean in for the familiar. They lean in for the unfamiliar force rewriting the script. Imagine someone walking across a quiet desert, carrying nothing but dust. No one pays attention. But let that same person hold a map leading to buried treasure, and suddenly every horizon sharpens. It's not the person that changes, it's what they carry. And you, chosen one, have been carrying the map to your own transformation without even realizing it. Your growth is the alarm. Your evolution is the flare. Your potential is the signal that woke up the world around you. And maybe you're wondering, why me? Why now? My dear chosen one, because you became uncontrollable in the best way. Systems rely on predictability, structures rely on patterns, but you stopped living according to the script written for you. Your silence became strategy, your isolation became training, your heartbreak became sharpening. You didn't break, you refined, and that alone exposed you as someone who can no longer be placed in the categories they understand. Your endurance revealed you, your discipline revealed you, your refusal to fold revealed you. You didn't scream your comeback. You built it brick by brick until the ground itself started whispering your name into rooms you haven't entered yet. This is the part your enemies can't stand. They thought your downfall would be the end of your story. Instead, it became the origin of your ascension. Watching you rise now is like watching someone they counted out outrun every limit they tried to set. It's embarrassing for them, liberating for you. Let's go deeper, chosen one. The attention you feel isn't threat, it's acknowledgement. It means your presence has reached a point where ignoring you is no longer possible. Think of the world like a massive terminal. Most people sit quietly with no boarding pass, but the second someone gets upgraded to a higher tier, every scanner locks onto them. Not because they're a problem, but because they're important cargo. You've become that. Important, high value, a carrier of something rare, something rising, something ready. And maybe you feel confused. Why does the atmosphere shift even when I'm alone? Because transformation has a frequency, and yours is echoing beyond your body. Your silence is a signal. Your focus is a signal. Your detachment is a signal. Every decision you make now sends a ripple outward, alerting the world that you're stepping into a level where nothing about you is ordinary anymore. You didn't survive to stay invisible. You didn't grow to stay quiet. You didn't rise to remain unnoticed. You are being seen because you are becoming undeniable. You are being acknowledged because your trajectory is too powerful to overlook. And chosen one, deep down, you know this. The pressure you're feeling isn't fear, it's readiness. And now, let's move deeper into this transformation, step by step. Number 2. Not every eye is a threat. Some watch because your rise is impossible to ignore. When eyes gather, it's not always to watch you fall. Not every glance is a threat. Some eyes widen because they're witnessing the rise they were never prepared for. My dear chosen ones, let that line sink in deep. Because one of the greatest illusions your enemies want you to believe is that every eye on you is waiting for your downfall. But the truth hits harder. Many are watching because your ascent is shaking something inside them. Some feel threatened, yes. Some feel inspired. And some, they're simply stunned that someone who took as many hits as you did is still rising with this much force. Attention is not always an attack. It's often an evaluation, a measurement, a sign that you've stepped into a level where your movements matter. The world doesn't observe the irrelevant. It studies the ones whose presence bends the atmosphere. And chosen one, that's exactly what you've become. Think about the shift happening inside you. Your energy changed, your mindset sharpened, your path redirected. You're no longer who you were a year ago, a month ago, or even a week ago. When that kind of transformation ignites, eyes automatically follow. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're becoming someone who changes outcomes simply by being in the room. Imagine walking through a museum filled with priceless art. Nothing happens until one piece suddenly glows. Alarms don't sound because it's dangerous. They sound because its value just revealed itself. That's you, chosen one. You didn't ask to glow, you didn't try to attract eyes, but your evolution illuminated something in you that systems, people, and environments instinctively recognize. And here's the part many chosen ones struggle with. The eyes on you aren't all the same. Some are observing your patience, waiting to see if pressure makes you reckless. Others admire the way you move without announcing your next step. Some test your silence, wondering if you'll crack or stay poised. And others watch simply because they've never seen someone rise from so much debris with this much grace. Maybe you've caught yourself wondering, why am I being noticed when I'm not doing anything unusual? Why does it feel like attention follows me even in silence? The answer is simple but powerful. Your rise is bigger than your actions. It's in your posture, your discipline, your restraint. It's in the way you carry yourself like someone preparing for something larger than the life you used to live. When a major inheritance, mental, emotional, financial, or positional, begins forming around someone, the world almost instinctively evaluates whether that person is ready. Can you remain grounded while everything shifts? Can you uphold integrity while your environment tests your patience? Can you handle influence without letting ego contaminate it? These are not punishments, they are qualifications. Picture yourself standing alone on a massive stage, not to perform, but to be measured. The spotlight isn't pressure, it's proof. Proof that you're next in line for something significant, and the world needs to know if you can carry what's coming without collapsing under it. Some watchers are disguised allies. They want to confirm you're the right person for a future that demands stability. They watch your reactions, your choices, your inner balance. They observe whether your loyalty sharpens or wavers. They pay attention to how you handle silence, patience, and responsibility. These eyes aren't waiting for you to fail. They're waiting for you to prove yourself ready. But some watchers, chosen one, are wolves in admiration's clothing. They're hoping your excitement makes you careless. They're hoping you speak too soon, reveal too much, or step too fast. They want you to sabotage yourself because they know they cannot stop you directly. And then there are the neutral eyes, the curious ones, the observers who simply can't look away because your climb doesn't make logical sense. They saw you get knocked down, and somehow you stand taller each time. They watched people withdraw from you, yet you became more centered. They witnessed your isolation, yet you emerged more focused. It baffles them and captivates them. You may ask, how do I know which eyes to trust? And the truth, chosen one, is that you don't need to. You just need to keep doing what elevated you in the first place. Silence, focus, consistency, not reacting to every stare, not explaining every step. Power doesn't need to justify itself. You've learned how to move without dragging your past behind you. You've mastered calm under pressure. You've strengthened your boundaries without shutting down your growth. That maturity is the signal that tells life you're ready. A king isn't crowned when the crown touches his head. He is crowned in the years he carries himself as if he already knows what he's meant for. And you're in that stage now. The eyes aren't here to break you. They're here to witness the making of someone who was always meant to rise. So understand this, my dear chosen ones. Not every eye is a threat. Many are here to measure your strength before life hands you what was always meant to be yours. And now, let's go deeper. Number 3. When power studies you, it's deciding whether you'll reshape the system or outrun it. When the world measures you, make the world flinch. The moment they stop underestimating you and start calculating you is the moment they realize they can't control you. My dear chosen ones, let that quote sink into the places inside you that were once told to stay quiet. Because the pressure you've been feeling, the weight in the air, the sense of being evaluated, the atmosphere tightening around your steps, is not happening because you've done something wrong. It's happening because you've become too unpredictable, too self-made, too self-directed for the world to categorize. The structures around you aren't applauding your glow-up, they're analyzing it. They're trying to understand how someone who was supposed to crumble ended up rising with this much force. You became the variable no one planned for, the signal they didn't expect, the anomaly in a blueprint designed for repetition. And nothing disrupts the comfort of a patterned world more than a chosen one who breaks formation. Imagine a radar sweeping through an empty sky, bored with familiar shapes. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, it detects something that doesn't match any known profile. Not a threat, but unmistakably powerful. Not an enemy, but undeniably rising. The first reaction isn't attack, it's confusion. They zoom in, they run scans, they replay the footage. That's what life is doing with you. You're the new altitude, the sudden surge, the unexpected ascent that made every lens sharpen. And you might be thinking, why me? Why does the pressure increase when I'm just trying to rebuild my life? Because chosen ones don't rebuild, they transform. Your rise isn't a small improvement, it's a disruption, a shift in your personal gravity that the world can feel even before you fully claim it. Systems, symbolic, social, structural, don't pay attention to the ones who stay small. They clock the ones who evolve too clean, learn too fast, move too quietly, and hold a confidence that wasn't handed to them. You became unpredictable because you became free, too self-educated to be misled, too self-healed to be manipulated, too self-contained to be influenced. You're no longer reacting the way people expect you to, and unpredictability, chosen one, is powerful. It's what breaks patterns. It's what forces the world to reassess how it moves around you. Think of a chessboard. Most pieces follow rules without question. Pawns march forward in predictable lines, never deviating, never surprising anyone. But imagine one pawn pausing, then suddenly thinking like a queen. Suddenly the whole board freezes. The game changes. Strategy collapses. Every eye shifts to that single piece because its potential can rewrite the entire outcome. That's you. The underestimated piece holding power the system never accounted for. They aren't just watching your steps. They're studying your reactions. They're trying to decode whether you'll crumble under pressure or stand taller because of it. They want to know if your silence is fear or strategy, whether your calm is resignation or evolution. Your behavior is telling a story louder than your words ever could. And here's the part that hits the hardest. They don't choose your role, you do. Every choice you make is a declaration. Every moment of restraint is a message. Every boundary you enforce sets your classification. Will you be the one who bends to the weight of expectation, or the one who bends expectations around your rise? Will you be a tool they can predict, or a force they have to respect? Will you shrink to fit their comfort, or expand to honor your destiny? This attention isn't punishment. It's the final threshold before your next level. The pressure isn't intimidation, it's initiation. The weight isn't danger, it's opportunity disguised. So choose wisely, my dear chosen ones, because right now the world is asking silently, what kind of force is this? And your next move will answer that question. Be the storm they didn't see coming. Be the rise they can't categorize. Be the force, not the footnote. Make the world regret ever underestimating you. Number 4. When your tech glitches, it's reacting to the frequency of a life leveling up. When your world flickers, it's just trying to catch up with you. When you grow too fast, even the world needs a second to steady its hands around you. My dear chosen ones, let's cut straight through the noise. Those strange moments when your screen freezes, when notifications lag, when your devices hesitate like they're thinking twice before responding, don't mistake them for chaos. They're reflections of you stepping into a higher version of yourself faster than your old environment can process. You're not malfunctioning, you're upgrading, and the world around you is scrambling to recalibrate to the person you are becoming. Imagine walking into a room with a perfectly fine speaker, quiet, calm, balanced. But the second you step close, a soft buzz rises from its core. Not because it's broken, but because your presence changed the atmosphere. That's what happens when someone evolves beyond their old frequency. Everything around them needs a moment to adjust. Your devices aren't freaking out. They're mirroring the shift you've been making internally, the shift you've been feeling in your decisions, your clarity, your determination. And maybe you've asked yourself, why now? Why does everything start acting strange the moment I gain focus, the moment my life finally lines up? Because, chosen one, when you break through old limits, your environment breaks rhythm with you. Think of your growth like a surge. new commitments, new mindset, new direction. Those upgrades send ripples through your habits, your surroundings, and yes, even the way you interact with your tools. You're moving cleaner, sharper, faster, and the parts of your world that once kept up effortlessly now need a moment to readjust to this new pace. Imagine a vault that sat quiet for years, silent, untouched. Then one day a subtle hum rises from deep inside it. Not loud, not alarming, just undeniable. A sign that something valuable inside is activating, waking up, preparing for its next stage. That's you, chosen one. You've been that vault, and the moment your clarity sharpened and your path aligned, the world noticed. Doors shifted, patterns changed, opportunities began forming in places you haven't stepped into yet. So when your phone hesitates for a second, or your apps stall, or your feed pauses as if deciding whether to show you something, don't overthink it. Don't spin stories of fear. See it for what it is, a reminder that you're no longer operating on the settings you used to. You've elevated your approach, your focus, your awareness, and now everything around you is catching up. You aren't becoming chaotic. You're becoming magnetic. When you align your mind, your goals, your daily behavior, you start pulling in new experiences, new connections, new resources. And shifting into that level doesn't go unnoticed, not by people, not by opportunities, and not even by the flow of your everyday life. Things will stall, flicker, pause, not to scare you, but because you're stepping into a rhythm your old life never prepared for. You are not the static in the signal. You are the signal that creates the static, and those moments where something around you falters. They're not signs of danger. They're signs of transition, signs that your upgrade is showing, signs that who you used to be is dissolving and who you're becoming is taking the lead. Chosen one, you are entering a level where your clarity alone shifts the atmosphere, where your focus disrupts old patterns, where your presence demands recalibration. And every flicker, every pause, every hesitation is simply life adjusting to the version of you that refuses to stay hidden. The glitches aren't warnings, they're acknowledgements, confirmation that your next level has already begun. Number 5. You didn't escape the box. You shattered the blueprint they built for you. You outgrew the mold before they even realized you were expanding. Nothing unsettles those who underestimated you more than watching you grow in directions they never mapped out. My dear chosen ones, let that settle into your chest for a moment. Because the truth is, you didn't just step out of the box they built around you. You outgrew it so violently that the walls cracked long before you noticed the space was too small. The moment you stopped begging for acceptance, the moment you stopped shrinking for comfort, the moment you stopped twisting yourself to fit their expectations, you became the very thing they feared, someone who doesn't wait to be validated, someone who creates their own permission. You didn't break their rules, you surpassed them. Think about it like this. Most people live inside cages built from other people's opinions. They stay small because it feels familiar. They bend because bending feels easier than building. But you, chosen one, were never meant to be a domesticated soul. You were meant to recognize the lock was never real. The moment you saw the door wide open, the whole room panicked. Not because you were dangerous, but because they realized they couldn't contain you anymore. A bird with wings is predictable only until it decides to fly. And maybe you've asked yourself, why did everything shift the moment I stopped caring what they thought? Because that's the instant you stepped into sovereignty. And sovereignty is something no system, internal or external, can script, buy, influence, or suppress. It's the rarest form of evolution, a mind that thinks independently, a heart that chooses its own rhythm, a soul that doesn't wait for applause. When someone reaches that point, the environment around them adjusts out of necessity. You didn't rebel, you awakened. Imagine a chessboard. Everyone expects the pawns to march one square at a time, slow, predictable, replaceable. But suddenly, one pawn begins moving like a queen, strategic, expansive, powerful. The whole board freezes, not because the pawn became a threat, but because it became unclassifiable. It stepped out of its assigned role without asking for approval. That's exactly what you did. You stopped being a placeholder and became a force. You stopped waiting to be chosen and recognized that you were the one doing the choosing all along. Your rise wasn't gradual, it was catalytic. It didn't crawl, it leapt. It didn't whisper, it resonated, and that resonance carried into rooms you've never walked into. Your name started traveling through conversations you weren't present for. Your energy started reaching places your feet haven't stepped into yet. Growth like that sends signals, and signals get attention. But here's the part most people never understand. Systems are comfortable with chaos because chaos burns itself out. What they can't handle is someone who becomes grounded, someone who becomes self-powered, someone who stops reacting and starts deciding. Order built on control can handle noise, it cannot handle independence. You didn't become loud, you became certain, and certainty disrupts everything built on keeping people uncertain. And maybe you've wondered, why does it feel like I shifted, but the world shifted with me? Because it did. The moment you cracked your old identity, the environment that once shaped you no longer had instructions for you. You became unreadable, unpatterned, unrepeatable. You became the type of person who doesn't ask, "Am I allowed?" but instead says, "Is this aligned?" That kind of transformation echoes into your relationships, your decisions, your presence, your silence. Chosen one, you didn't break the cage. You rose so rapidly that the cage disintegrated trying to keep up with you. You stopped playing roles written by other people. You stopped pretending your potential was optional. You stopped squeezing yourself into spaces built for smaller people. Your expansion was your revolution. Your growth was your announcement. Your evolution was your exit from every limitation that once tried to script your path. And now they're watching, not because they own your rise, but because they can't influence it anymore. You've become the one thing no structure knows how to manage, a sovereign mind paired with a rising future. You became someone who doesn't bend, someone who doesn't break, someone who doesn't shrink to make others feel steady. You outgrew your old world, chosen one, and the new world you're stepping into has no box big enough to contain you. You aren't their problem, you're their reminder that limits only control the ones who accept them. Number 6. Your elevation wasn't approved, and that's exactly why it shook the room. Your rise broke protocol, and that's why the ground is shaking. Nothing rattles a system faster than someone who wins without their permission. My dear chosen ones, let this truth sink deep into your bones. The reason the world feels like it's shifting beneath your feet is because you rose in a way no one approved, predicted, or prepared for. You didn't follow their roadmap. You didn't wait for their green light. You didn't stand in line hoping they'd pick you. You moved anyway. You grew anyway. You rose anyway. And nothing threatens an established structure more than a self-made force that becomes chosen without being chosen by them. They don't fear your success. They fear how you got it. You weren't shaped by their mentorship. You weren't crafted by their hands. You weren't polished by their systems. Every step you climbed, you carved yourself. Every strength you carry, you earned in silence. You didn't ask for validation. You didn't chase approval. You didn't negotiate your worth. And that, chosen one, is exactly why they're trembling. Imagine a classroom where the test is designed so everyone fails, carefully written to expose every flaw. Yet one student, quiet, overlooked, invisible, aces it perfectly. No tutoring, no assistance, no shortcuts. The teacher doesn't panic because the test was beaten. They panic because the student proved the teacher was never the source of intelligence to begin with. That's what you just did in life. You exposed how unnecessary their approval always was. They built a world where your rise wasn't supposed to happen unless they allowed it. But you bypassed the gatekeepers completely. You became the move they never planned for, the shift they never accounted for, the outcome their blueprint didn't cover. In their script, pawns don't become queens. Seeds growing through concrete don't bloom. Shadows don't turn into signals. Yet, here you are, breaking every rule without trying. And maybe you're wondering, why did the attention spike right when I finally found my footing? Because your rise wasn't curated by them. It wasn't staged. It wasn't groomed. It wasn't handed to you. You created momentum in a place where momentum wasn't meant to exist. You walked through storms without an umbrella, navigated darkness without a map, and still emerged sharper, clearer, more refined than those who always had a head start. That kind of evolution scares people who rely on being in control. When someone succeeds with privilege, the system stays calm. When someone succeeds with support, the system nods. But when someone succeeds alone, without resources, without permission, without a safety net, that's when the system shakes. Because that person just proved the structure wasn't necessary for greatness. That person proved power can emerge anywhere. That person proved independence is stronger than approval. That person is you. Think of a seed lodged in a crack of broken pavement. No gardener tending it. No carefully measured soil. No perfect sunlight. Everything in its environment says it shouldn't grow. People step over it. Cars roll past it. Storms beat down on it. Yet one day it rises, one day it blooms, one day its color becomes impossible to ignore. That's not just growth, that's defiance. That's what your rise looks like to the world. Beauty in a place built for failure, strength in a place built for silence, persistence in a place built for collapse. Your vibration shifted because you stopped chasing survival and stepped into alignment. You're not chasing money, you're aligning with value. You're not chasing status, you're aligning with identity. You're not chasing approval, you're aligning with purpose, and that shift alone is enough to make old systems scramble. When someone rises without permission, they don't clap, they analyze, they assess, they react, not out of admiration, but out of concern. You didn't follow their map, yet you found treasure. You didn't play by their rules, yet you won the game. You didn't ask to be chosen, yet you became unavoidable. My dear chosen one, they're not panicking because you're dangerous. They're panicking because you proved you never needed them. You proved that rise is internal. You proved that strength is self-built. You proved that resilience doesn't require witnesses. And now, every step you take sends tremors through the old foundation, reminding them that the path they tried to block was never strong enough to stop you. You are unstoppable because you built yourself. You are undeniable because you rose without applause. You are incomparable because you didn't follow their script, you wrote your own. And deep down, you can feel it. This level wasn't gifted to you. You forged it. And that's why it can't be taken away. Number 7. Your surge is the awakening of everything they tried and failed to silence. The surge you're feeling was forged, not found. They didn't bury you, chosen one. They built the pressure that created you. This shift you're feeling now, my dear chosen one, didn't just appear one morning like some random spark of good fortune. It's been loading in the background of your life for years, quietly compiling every lesson, every scar, every moment you refused to break. People thought you were crumbling when you were actually compressing, building density, building depth, building force. They thought they were stepping on your future, not realizing they were packing the ground tighter so your rise would be explosive, not gentle. They mistook your silence for surrender, not knowing silence is where pressure takes shape. Nothing about what's happening in you is accidental. This isn't luck brushing your shoulder. This isn't fate throwing you a bone. This is the return of everything they tried to silence in you, the resilience they underestimated, the intelligence they dismissed, the fire they didn't think would reignite. They thought they were dimming you. They were actually storing energy in you. And now the surge you're experiencing is the release of every suppressed spark they assumed would never ignite again. Maybe you've been asking yourself, why does this feel so intense? Why does it feel like something huge is waking up inside me? Because, Chosen One, your evolution didn't begin today. It began the first time life tried to break you and failed. Every setback became storage. Every betrayal became blueprint. Every fall became fuel. You have been collecting strength in layers no one could see. Layers that were never meant to stay hidden, only meant to mature until the exact moment you were strong enough to use them. Think of yourself as a dormant volcano. For years you looked harmless, quiet, even forgettable to those who judged you by surface stillness. They built around you, underestimated you, joked about how your best days were behind you. But what they didn't realize is that your silence wasn't death, it was gathering. Pressure doesn't shout while it builds. It waits, it strengthens, it condenses, it transforms into something dense enough to reshape landscapes. And then one day, a small rumble shifts the air, a crack forms beneath what people thought was stable ground, and suddenly the world panics. The volcano they ignored was never harmless. It was preparing. That's you. Your random breakthrough is simply the eruption they never prepared for. And don't think for a second that the world hasn't noticed this surge. Even if you've told no one, even if you've shared nothing out loud, your energy has shifted in a way that sends signals into spaces your body hasn't entered yet. You don't rise quietly, Chosen One. You rise in ways that ripple. People can feel the change before they understand it. Some feel drawn to you. Some feel threatened. Some feel confused, wondering how you grew past limits you were never supposed to outlive. The truth is, you were pressure-built, not privilege-built. Nothing was handed to you, no shortcuts, no head starts, no safety nets. You were forged in conditions that crush most people long before they get the chance to rise. So when you do rise, it isn't soft, it's seismic. It's the kind of shift that makes the environment around you adjust its stance. The kind that forces old versions of you to crack and fall away. The kind that exposes how wrong they were to think they had buried you. Ask yourself this: why does your recent growth feel familiar, like an echo of something you once knew? Because the power waking up inside you isn't new, it's original. It's the version of you that existed before the world tried to dilute you. Before people tried to shrink you, before circumstances tried to strip your identity down to survival mode. This surge is you returning to yourself with more force, clarity, and direction than you had the first time. They didn't extinguish you, Chosen One. They unintentionally concentrated you. And now the pressure they created is the very fuel launching you into the phase they swore you'd never reach. That's why everything feels amplified. That's why your intuition is louder, your focus sharper, your patience thinner, your purpose heavier. You're not malfunctioning, you're activating. Your surge is not a surprise. It is the inevitable outcome of everything you survived. And now, Chosen One, let's keep moving. The next piece will reveal exactly why your rise is shaking the ground beneath those who thought you'd stay buried. Number 8. You've become a moving vault of value, too fortified for anyone to decode. You're not just you anymore. You've become the kind of force that makes the room recalibrate the moment you walk in. My dear Chosen Ones, You need to understand what you've turned into. You're no longer just a person moving through the world. You're value in motion, a vault with a pulse, a walking reservoir of potential that can shift entire environments without saying a word. People aren't responding to your past. They're responding to the weight of what you carry now. Influence, alignment, growth, a future that refuses to shrink. You've evolved into the kind of presence that doesn't just enter a space, it upgrades it. And maybe you've noticed it. People looking at you longer than usual, acting different, treating you like there's something about you they can't quite name. That's because there is. You've become rare currency, the kind that doesn't lose value under pressure but gains it. You're the kind of energy that turns heads, not because you seek attention, but because attention can't help but land on you. Imagine a truck rolling down the highway. No one cares if it's carrying scrap metal, but load it with gold, and suddenly every scanner, every checkpoint, every glance sharpens. Nothing about the truck changed except its cargo. That's you. Your internal value skyrocketed, and the world sensed it. Your calm unsettles people because calm is expensive. Silence unsettles them because silence is strategic. A vault doesn't need to announce what it carries. It just exists, sealed, steady, immovable. That's why your presence hits differently now. People aren't intimidated by your face or your voice. They're intimidated by the power behind them. Your worth isn't loud, it's concentrated, and concentrated value is difficult for the unprepared to understand or approach. Vaults don't brag, vaults don't explain, they simply hold what others can't touch. And let's be honest, power attracts everything. Some will approach you with respect because they see the discipline it took for you to reach this level. Others will keep their distance because they can feel that you're not someone they can predict anymore. And then there are those who will drift closer, not out of genuine connection, but because they're hoping to access whatever it is they sense inside you. This is why your boundaries matter now more than ever. Guard what's sacred. Move with intention. Don't give anyone the combination to what you've earned through grit, silence, and resilience. Chosen one, you're no longer someone the world can shrug off. You've become someone people must handle with caution because every step you take carries the weight of the transformation unfolding around you. You're not fragile, you're fortified, you're not chasing approval, you are the standard. And the value you carry now isn't something anyone can break into, manipulate, or diminish. It's locked under layers of growth, healed wounds, hard-won clarity, and a destiny that's strengthening its grip on you by the day. You are, in every sense of the word, a walking fortune, priceless, protected, and rising. And that, chosen one, is exactly why the world reacts the way it does around you. Number 9. Chaos doesn't scare them. Your unowned, uncontained independence does. They don't fear chaos. They fear the one who no longer needs chains. They never lose sleep over the loud ones, only over the ones who learned how to silence every leash. My dear chosen ones, hear this with the weight it deserves. They never feared your storms. They never feared your breakdowns, your confusion, or your moments of drowning. Chaos is predictable. Chaos melts on schedule. It spins, it shouts, it burns itself out. The world knows how to contain chaos because chaos exhausts itself long before it becomes a threat. But freedom is a different creature entirely. Freedom is quiet. Freedom is deliberate. Freedom is a force that can't be bribed, controlled, or domesticated, and that is exactly what you have become. The moment you became self-powered, the moment you stopped waiting for someone to tell you who to be, how to move, or what lane to stay in, you became the one thing they can't cage. You stepped out of the dependency loop with the simplicity of someone who finally realized the door was never locked. And that's when everything around you shifted. Not because you caused trouble, but because you stopped allowing trouble to be the thing that defined you. Your silence sharpened. Your decisions tightened. your identity aligned. Those shifts strike fear into systems built on control. Imagine a circus lion suddenly remembering it was born in the wild. It stops performing. It stops bowing. It stops responding to signals designed to trigger old obedience. The trainers don't panic because it's roaring. They panic because it isn't. The silence is the threat. The self-awareness is the rebellion. The refusal to respond is the revolution. That, chosen one, is you. Your calm became a warning. Your clarity became a disruption. Your independence became a force they can't quantify or contain. And maybe you've asked yourself, why did everything feel like it changed the moment I started trusting myself? Because control systems are built on invisible contracts, emotional dependence, approval dependence, guilt dependence, routine dependence. Those contracts keep people tied to permission, tied to validation, tied to someone else's expectations. But you broke yours. You stepped away from the applause economy. You no longer move for claps that never matched your worth. You no longer fold for people who never held you. You no longer shrink to fit into places that couldn't hold your evolution. And that kind of autonomy, chosen one, cannot be measured or manipulated. It terrifies anything built on keeping you small. Think of a prisoner who's been standing in an unlocked cell for years, believing the trap was real. One day they push the door and it swings wide open. Not because it was freed, but because it was never locked at all. That moment, that realization, that breath of clarity is rebellion in its purest form. You didn't escape chaos. You outgrew it. You didn't fight the system. You slipped out of its grip. And once a chosen one becomes self-guided, self-owned, and self-directed, nothing in the old structure knows how to categorize them anymore. You're not unpredictable because you're unstable. You're unpredictable because you're sovereign. You're not chaotic. You're precise. You're not wild. You're aware. You're operating on a frequency that answers to no old rule, no outdated script, no external leash. A free mind is untouchable. A steady heart is unshakable. A self-powered identity is unstoppable. Together, that combination becomes a quiet kind of fire, one that doesn't burn out, one that doesn't need permission, one that forces the world to adjust around it. Chosen one, you didn't become dangerous. You became uncontrollable. And that is why they fear you now. Not because you're a threat to others, but because you're no longer a threat to yourself. You stopped being shaped by limits, and limits don't know what to do with someone who no longer recognizes them. You are the shift. You are the break in the pattern. You are the one who walked out of the cage without anyone noticing until you were too far gone to drag back. And that, chosen one, is real power. And now, chosen ones, as we reach the end of this chapter, let this final truth settle in. You are stepping into a level where your presence can no longer be overlooked, and your transformation is already rewriting the space around you. If this message resonated with the strength you've been carrying in silence, show your alignment by hitting like, subscribing, and dropping 77 in the comments, so I know you're moving with us. Share this message with someone who needs the reminder. Your support keeps this mission alive, and your rise keeps the momentum unstoppable.